Check, check, check. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the video. In this video, I'm gonna do something really brief but very important. If you signed up with REsimpli CRM for the first time, this is a video for you. I'm going to walk through all of the things, all of the steps that you need to do to set up your CRM for success. And I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna screen share with you guys so you guys can follow along in your own accounts. And hopefully this video will help you kind of get started with your CRM so you can go ahead and manage your leads the right way and work your CRM the best way possible. So I'm not going to waste any more time. Make sure you guys obviously like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and other videos as well. If you do not have the CRM already, make sure you click description or click the link that's pinned to the chat to go ahead and get the free trial for 14 days. So make sure you do that so you can have the CRM, all right, and test it out, all right? So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to go ahead and start with my screen share really quick, and we'll go from there. So let me share my screen. We're going to share which one we want. We want this tab right here. All right, so hopefully you guys can see my screen. If you can see my screen, let me know. How's my audio? Does everything sound good? Just let me know before we get all the way into it. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty good. Anyway, first thing you want to do is you want to make sure once you sign up for REsimpli, you want to make sure you get your 10 DLC approved, right? So you apply for your 10 DLC. So you go to your settings over here at the bottom left, go over here to A2P 10 DLC, and you want to apply for that. This is very important because this is going to allow you to be able to text your seller leads back and forth, okay? It's going to be able to allow your text messages to be delivered to your seller leads as long as you're compliant. And what I mean by compliant is you got to make sure in that first message that you send outbound, that first text message that you send outbound to your seller lead, that you have your A2P 10 DLC company name approved in that text message, right? So once you get it approved, this is what you're going to see. Approved and verified is what you're looking for. It may take about 2 to 4 weeks to get it approved, sometimes a little bit sooner if you have all of your stuff in line. So what I mean by all of your stuff in line, you need to make sure you have a domain name. So you can go to Yahoo Business or Google Business or GoDaddy, whatever. Get you a domain name, okay? And from there, you can utilize the REsimpli platform, which is pretty cool because they have web pages or website that's going to connect with that domain to make you more legit and more official. Okay, so make sure you do that because those are going to be the key steps in being able to get your 10 DLC submission approved. So once you get approved, you're going to see it says approved and verified. Okay, and in order to do that, make sure you contact this email right here. Okay, this is the person that's going to help you with your approval. If you don't hear anything back within about 2 weeks, just follow up, check in to see if there's an update. But sometimes you can just check in occasionally in that settings tab to see if you are approved 100%. So that's the first and foremost thing that you absolutely have to do as soon as you get inside of your CRM, whether you're on the free trial or if you actually have the subscription, you still have to do it no matter what. So that's first things first. And like I said, that's important to be able to send out text messages to your seller leads. Okay, so that's first thing. Next thing, you want to go to your settings once again, and you want to go ahead and add or manage users. Okay, so depending on the size of your team, depending on how you want to do it, if you're a one-person show, you can obviously just have you as the main user and you have multiple roles. But if you are working with numerous people in your team, let's say you have a acquisitions person, let's say you have a transactions person or a dispo person, then you want to have multiple roles for those people and have logins associated with those people as well. So they can have their own login so they can see their own dashboard. That's going to be very important to keep your system organized and nice and tight and nice and clean. So in order to do that, it's pretty much cut and dry. You just go to add new right here. You have basic details provided. So you would add whoever that user is and their email, because their email is going to be associated with a login. So it's going to have to be different. You can't have the same email for every user. You save that information, and then you're going to have the role assignments and stuff like that, as far as if they're going to be an acquisitions person, a disposition person, a transactions person, so forth and so on. Then you have the lead permissions, meaning, what part of the CRM are they going to have access to. Same thing with the module permissions. Is certain modules that you can give or grant access to some of your team members or whatever the case may be. And then also the list stacking dialer. So those are going to be the next steps into getting your CRM set up correctly. For me, I always have the role of owner, transaction coordinator, dispo, admin, acquisition. So I'll do everything, obviously. So if you're a one person show, then obviously you're going to have all of those roles as well. Then I just added another one just to test it, marketing manager, or whatever the case may be. But like I said, if you have multiple users, then you add what role is associated for those users. And there's so many different roles that you have there. So very cool feature there to make sure that your CRM is organized. So that's the next thing. So once you have all your roles figured out, we're going to go back to settings once again. And this is probably one of the most important things you can do as far as setup. So while you're waiting for your 10DLC to be approved, you want to go ahead and set up your phone numbers. Okay. This is going to be the most important thing, because it's going to be able to allow you to track your KPIs and your metrics the correct way, right? So for me, I have all these different phone numbers, and I sort mine out by the campaign. Okay. So basically, why I do it this way is because it's going to let me know whatever list that I'm marketing to, whatever list that I'm working. For example, high equity, fire damage, expired listings, code violations, referrals, probate, pre-foreclosures, absentee, vacant. Those are the lists that I target, but I primarily target, probate and pre-foreclosures for the most part. But what this is going to do, there is a number associated for every lead that comes in from those lists or that campaign. So by being able to associate that phone number to that campaign or list, is going to be able to assist in being able to track the KPIs for how many leads came in from this high equity list, how many leads came in from this fire damage list, how many deals have I closed from code violations, how many appointments have I gotten from probate list, or whatever the case may be, from those leads. So that's going to be able to say, okay, if I'm tracking this correctly, I'll be able to properly make decisions on my marketing. So if I see that I'm getting more deals closed from my probate campaigns versus my water shutoff campaign, that means I'm gonna put more energy and more effort into marketing to probate lists or probate opportunities. And the best way to do that, like I said, is making sure you set up your phone numbers the correct way from the get-go and have your campaign set up that way. And if you work in multiple markets, I would recommend doing let's say high equity Dallas or in high equity Charlotte or something like that, so you'll know where those leads are coming from and where your opportunities are getting closed at. Okay. Once you get those numbers purchased, you just go here, hit add numbers. Window will pop up. I think the numbers are like $2 a month. And you could have numbers for your sellers, buyers, vendors, the dialer, AI, general purpose, and iMessage if you plan to use iMessage as well. And then you just put in the area code for your market that you're working, and you just select the number. Just like any other software platform, just purchase the number and pay for it. Now, the key here is to make sure once your numbers are added to the system or added, you selected your numbers. one, you want to make sure your spam check is good, meaning that it's going to be not spam likely most of the time. And then two, you're going to make sure that the number is linked for your 10 DLC status. Okay. So once the number shows that it's linked for your 10 DLC status, that means that number is ready to be able to use as far as SMS outbound. Okay. You'll be able to deliver those messages to your leads once it shows link. So every day when you log into your CRM after you apply for your 10 DLC, you could come in after you've purchased your numbers to see which numbers are linked and good. Okay. Now, there are going to be some numbers that will link faster than the others. And in those cases, I would probably wait a little bit. And if they don't, link fast enough or they take too long to link, then I would just delete that number and get another number. Okay. That's pretty much what I would do in that case. So that's all the numbers for the leads. Then you have numbers for your buyers. So personally, I like to operate my whole business out of the CRM. So from the acquisitions to as well as the dispositions and the transactions, I make sure I have a number for my buyers as well, right? So my buyers, anytime I send a deal out, they're going to get a deal from my CRM from this phone number right here, which is associated with my buyers. So anytime I send them a deal, they know it's coming from me, and I'll be able to track what buyers reached out. I have an inbox for that as well, and the buyers can contact me on this number. All right. And then, when I'm sending out blasts and stuff like that, I'll be able to do that from here. So you want to make sure you have a buyer number as well. If you're using the REsimpli dialer, obviously you want to have a few different numbers there. I always recommend at least having 3 numbers. It's a single line dialer. So you don't need that many different numbers, but I always recommend have at least 3 numbers for the single line dialer. So you'll be able to go through those numbers and they don't burn out as quickly as possible, as quickly as they would if you had one single number. If you want to get a number for your vendors, for like your title companies or closing attorneys or contractors or whatever, whatever you want to get phone numbers for, you can have a vendor phone number for them specifically. Um, the voice AI phone numbers as well. I'll get into that a little bit later. But you definitely want to have a phone number for the voice AI. And that's very important as well. If somebody calls that contact number and you don't answer, then the voice AI is going to be able to pick up that call for you. So if you miss that call, the voice AI is going to pick up that number if they call or dial this number here. So if you have any, for example, like any inbound marketing, like a bandit sign or direct mail, you can put this number on there. And if somebody calls in, boom, they're going to get connected with the AI agent that you've created. You got a general purpose number. You could just get a number for anything, if you want to use it just randomly. For example, let's say if a seller doesn't answer their regular number that you got it connected to, you can, with the campaign, you can have a general purpose number just to call a different, from a different number if you like. I don't have one. I don't feel like it's necessary, but if you want to get one, you can get one. The iMessage number, obviously, is, if you're sending text messages, it's going to show the iMessage, the blue bubble, stuff like that. If you want that number, so forth, so on. So that's the next thing, right? You want to make sure you have your phone number set up. You want to make sure you have your campaign set up because, like I said, it all ties into the KPIs and so forth and so on. Now, when you do get your numbers, after you get your numbers, okay, what you want to do is then you want to set up your call flow. As you can see, my flow is forward to tie, right? The flow name, right? So I'll go to settings, go to call flow, okay? And then I'm going to add a call flow, but in this case, I'm gonna just edit it. So you can see, so I have 13 numbers in this flow. And basically the flow just says, if anybody calls this phone number or these phone numbers, it's going to get routed to my cell phone, basically. And you can set up a schedule, a time zone of when that can happen. You can set up like a IVR, which is like a interactive voice response. You can greet the caller. There's so many different things that you can forward it to a different member on your team. So there's different ways you can set up your call flow. I'm not going to go into all of the details in that because you can set that up yourself and just read through everything and set it up. But the way I have it set up is it just comes to my app and then it comes to my cell phone. Basically, if I miss a call, that's basically how my call flow is set up. So you definitely want to have that set up as well, especially if you're working as, one man band or you wearing all the hats. you want to have that set up. Either way, you do want to have a call flow set up so you can have it all squared away when leads do call inbound and you don't answer those calls in the CRM. The next thing you want to do is you want to set up your markets. Okay, so you go to the settings, you set up your markets. I just do primary market and this other market that I use. You can assign a user to those markets, and obviously you can have the numbers associated assigned to those markets as well. And the numbers are basically associated from those campaigns. So when you're setting up adding the markets, you're going to be able to add the campaigns and all of that stuff, the roles, all those different things. So you can set up your markets that way. If you're working multiple markets, obviously you want to have multiple markets here, and whatever users you want to have assigned to those markets and what numbers you want to assign to those markets as well. So that's pretty much cut and dry, but you definitely want to set that up, especially if you're working multiple markets. Okay. The next thing you want to make sure, if you want to operate the CRM to its fullest capacity, I would recommend adding buyers to the contacts. I don't want to click on it because YouTube is going to flag everything. But you want to add your buyers list. That if you got them, your buyers list on a spreadsheet or whatever the case may be, you want to add them to the contacts here, because it's going to be easier for you to manage your buyers that way, to sort and organize your buyers, and also to send them deals. You can email blast them, you can SMS blast them, and you can also call them through this platform. So it's an all-in-one platform. So I highly recommend, if you are working your buyers off of an Excel spreadsheet like I was, add your buyers into this list, tag them up with locations that they're buying in, their criteria, stuff like that, and you can start sending them deals through the CRM, which is a whole lot more efficient and easier than you would if you were manually sending them through Excel sheets and stuff like that. So I highly recommend that. You can add vendors as well, but that's not necessary. If you like to, you can add the vendors, but you can go ahead and do that. One of the next things as well is, if you want to track your income and your expenses all through the CRM, go to the financials tab and add your banking information here. So as you're getting transactions and closing deals and so forth and so on, you can go ahead and track all of the income that comes in and all the expenses that come in from your deals and from your business as a whole. You can put as many bank accounts as you want on here. You can also put a test account, but you're going to have to manually track everything if you do the test account. But definitely recommend that if you plan on operating the business fully through the CRM. Definitely a good feature to have here, because you can assist with your taxes and things like that when it's tax time. The next thing you want to have set up is your AI agents. This is one of the newest features to release in the REsimpli's platform, so highly recommend utilizing it. The main ones that you really need to set up will be the call answer AI and the voice follow AI. Okay, the other ones are pretty much going to be already instilled in the CRM and the platform. Just have to press a few buttons or click a few things to activate them. But these ones are ones that you actually have to manually set up by creating a phone number, like I said earlier, and being able to manage those AI agents. So what you would do essentially is, let's go to first one. Let's do the call answer AI. So basically the call answer AI is going to be if you have like a direct mail piece, or you have a phone number on a website and a homeowner calls that particular phone number. Let's say you or your acquisitions person does not answer that phone call, then the AI is going to answer that call and going to qualify that lead and opportunity and present that seller with an option to either book an appointment, transfer the call to you, or you can call back that lead later or something like that, right? So having this call answer AI feature is very good, so you can not miss inbound calls or inbound opportunities from marketing. Okay. So to manage that, just go, click here, go to the agent. You're going to create an agent, add assistant, and then you're going to fill out all of the information here. Pick your agent, pick your AI agent. You can do male, female. You have 2 options there for female. You have 2 options there for male. Put in the information, and then you add the voice assistant. Okay. And then you're going to have to connect them with a phone number. So when you go back to settings, and then you go to phone numbers, and then you go to REsimpli voice AI, then you're going to be able to add a phone number for that AI agent that you created here in this tab over here. And you do the same thing for voice follow AI. And what the voice follow AI is, which is different from the call answer AI, the voice follow AI is an outbound call that is made from the system to a seller lead in your system. So, for example, the way I have it set up is I have created drip campaigns that include the REsimpli voice follow AI to call those leads and opportunities that have went ghost or went missing after a period of time. Maybe a lead came into the CRM and myself as the acquisitions rep wasn't able to get that lead on the phone after it came in from SMS marketing or cold calling, and that lead just goes ghost for a day, 2 days, 3 days. So then I initiate a drip campaign that has this voice follow AI in the sequences to follow up and make actual calls to that lead to qualify that lead to see if they still want to sell their property or not. And that helps me because it doesn't allow me to chase and manually chase these leads when they go ghost. Right, I have the AI agent there to make those follow-up calls so I can focus on the actual leads that I am building relationships with, that I am working, making offers, and so forth and so on. So those are the two AI agents that I highly recommend that you have set up in the very beginning. And I just showed you how to set them up. Simple, same old thing. Make sure you create a phone number for them, and then you create the agent, connect the phone number with that particular agent, and then you're good to go. Um, the next thing you want to do is drip campaigns and templates. Okay, you want to make sure you have your drip campaigns and your templates. Very important because this system is basically ran 100% off of your ability to be able to get your task completed, complete tasks, your ability to make sure that these leads doesn't slip through the cracks by utilizing the drip campaign automation. So you want to make sure you have your campaigns and automations on point, right? So let's start with the drip campaigns. So I have all the drip campaigns for each status right here. As you can see, I created all of these pretty much, by myself using Chat GPT, of course, but would have put my own little twist on it as far as the sequences and so forth and so on. If you do not want to create this or whatever the case may be, just comment drip campaign in the comments below, and I'll be able to hook you up and get you right with some drip campaign templates. These same exact ones, they're proven, they work. If you follow me on Instagram, you can see from time to time when I post some of these responses from the drip campaign automations and so forth, so on. So if you want these campaigns, just comment drip campaign in the comments, and then I'll be able to get you set up. Okay. I don't have any buyers drip or vendors drip yet. I don't have a sold drip either yet. I should go ahead and do a sold one. I do have one, but it's in the leads drip. But I don't have any buyers drip or vendors drip. I haven't used those yet. Don't see a major need for it yet as far as how I operate my business. But if you guys may have an idea or suggestion, let me know. I'll be glad to investigate and navigate it as well. But those are the drips. You got to have the drip campaign templates already set up and ready to go. So when leads come in your system, you can hit the ground running with those drip campaigns. The next thing is going to be your task templates. So you have your SMS templates, your email templates, and your task templates, right? Um, all these templates, you have to have these set up because it's going to save you a lot of time. You're going to find yourself communicating with these seller leads and opportunities and typing the same messages over and over again. So the best way to save time and be more efficient is to already have some SMS templates in place that you can use over and over again for different seller leads and opportunities. Same thing with the task templates, right? You don't want to manually type in offer follow up every single time. You can just select the template and boom, you got your offer follow up there. Now, what's key about these task templates that's very important, especially if you're working with a team, a bigger team. Even if you're not working with the team, set up your system as if you will grow and add people to your team, because eventually that's the point, right? For most people. But you want to make sure when you're setting up the task, you select the right role. Okay. You don't want to have an offer follow up template, and that's going to be the role of, let's say, the cold caller, or the disposition manager, right? You want to make sure that the roles make sense, because if you're the CEO or the owner, you don't want all these tasks being assigned to you. So when you do have someone in the acquisition seat and their role is to follow up with offers, they don't see those tasks. And that way, now you as the owner, all the tasks are on your plate versus going to be on the acquisitions manager's plate, as it should be. So whenever you're setting up your task templates, make sure you're putting the right role in there. Very, very important. So everybody knows what tasks that they're responsible for every time they log in onto their dashboard every single day. Very important note there. And the last thing you want to do after the task templates, we don't went through everything, is you want to add your leads. Obviously, you can set up, if you want to add your leads individually, just go up here to this plus sign. It says add lead. And then the best way to do it, just put in the property address. You can do 123 Main Street or whatever, and it's going to auto populate and select whichever one it is. It's going to fill in the information. Just put in their phone number and email, adjust the lead source and then the market, and then hit add lead, and you'll be able to add that lead into the system. Okay. And that's pretty much, that's pretty much all you need to do to get this thing set up. So the first thing is you want to do your 10 DLC. You want to make sure that you add your users and your roles. Let me go up here. You want to make sure you add your users and your roles. You want to make sure you set up your phone numbers and your campaigns, set up your call flows, manage your markets, create your markets. You want to make sure your drip campaigns and your task templates and your SMS templates are set up. Like I said, comment drip down below in the comment section, and I'll get you those templates added to your account. If you want to work the system the right way at its full capacity, add your banking information. Also add the buyers to the contacts tab. And then lastly, you want to set up your AI agents and then add your leads. Now, if you want to bulk add your leads, make sure you reach out to REsimpli's tech support. You're going to have to put it in an Excel sheet file so they can properly upload it to your account. So if you have a ton of leads that you don't want to manually add one by one, you can export the leads from whatever platform that you were using before, put it in an Excel file, CSV, and send it over to their tech support, and they'll be able to upload those leads to your system without a problem. So I hope this video was helpful. Once again, if you do not have the REsimpli CRM or you want to try it out, make sure you click the link in my description below. You can test it out for 14 days free. And then also, if you like to have the drip campaigns and the templates, make sure you comment below drip, and I'll be able to get those added to your account. Until next time, hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next video.